Okay, we're continuing on with Silent Hill 3. The important thing to notice right now is on the... Well, the altar is over here. This is more like a tabernacle kind of thing. There's an Eye of Night tarot card, which... That's not a tarot card. Let's have a look at it. Eye of Night tarot card. Found this in the chapel. Is this a real tarot card, though? Eye of Night. That's what it says. Somehow I remember this stained glass. It shows God and the man and woman who birthed her. I used to come to this chapel all the time when I was a little girl. I came to worship God and to ask for my prayers to be answered. But it wasn't exactly me. It was actually Alessa when she was a little girl. But anyway, none of my prayers were ever answered. Yep, that's how it goes. There's nothing I can do with the organ. I don't know how to play anyway. There are some things on the walls we can look at. These are the stations of the Flaros. 1. Origin. In the beginning, people had nothing. Their bodies ached, and their hearts held nothing but hatred. They fought endlessly, but death never came. They despaired, stuck in the eternal quagmire. 2. Birth. A man offered a serpent to the sun and prayed for salvation. A woman offered a reed to the sun and asked for joy. Feeling pity for the sadness that had overrun the earth, God was born from those two people. That's how birth happens, I guess. At least in this religion. 3. Salvation. God made time and divided it into day and night. God outlined the road to salvation and gave people joy. And God took endless time away from the people. Hey, I want that endless time. Give me my endless time back, God. Also, God enjoyed wearing fabulous crimson gowns. Just the most red dresses you've ever seen. 4. Creation. God created beings to lead people in obedience to her. The red god, Zilchilbara, the yellow god, Lobsilvith, the green god, Zelototh, many gods and angels. Finally, God set out to create paradise where people would be happy just by being there. 5. Promise. But there God's strength ran out, and she collapsed. All the world's people grieved this unfortunate event, yet God breathed her last. She returned to the dust, promising to come again. Wow, everyone in the world grieved. You think more people would know about it today, then? 6. Faith. So God hasn't been lost. We must offer our prayers and not forget our faith. We wait and hope for the day when the path to paradise will be opened. And there you go. Now you got the lowdown on the religion. That's what the Silent Hill religion is all about. Now let's go over here for a map of the church. It's also probably my favorite map in any of these games. I got the map of... That's the map of the church. I have the feeling that there's someone on the other side of this door. Whoops. The door is shut tight, and I can't open it no matter how hard I try. Yeah, this is a confessional, which is awfully Catholic for this cult. These are the cult scriptures. They don't look worth reading. Well, someone's trying on the other side.
Dear God, please forgive me. I know I'll be put to death for the sins I've committed. And I'll go to my death gladly and with a peaceful heart. But please, grant me just a small piece of your everlasting mercy. Let me see my child once within your golden gates. Deliver me not to hell, but to purgatory. Allow me to atone for my sins there. I'll stand within the very flames of redemption, no matter how they burn me. Forgive me for my wicked act of revenge. And deliver the soul of my poor murdered daughter. Please, also care for the soul of the girl whose life I have taken. God, I am a child, trembling with fear as I stare at death. Soothe my tortured soul with your infinite mercy. Please, forgive me.
Nah. Heather's not in a very forgiving mood. Nothing more to be said. Oh, hey, there's another world on the other side of these bars. Maybe we'll get to go there. Well, this door's locked, so we will have to go there. Let's go through this door. Well, our big friend is looking rather animated. What we got on here? Something was written here, but it's too faint to read. This looks like maybe it's like a classroom where you go for your religious education. No one likes to do it because you have to do it after school. It's like after school you want to go home, but then they say no, you have to spend like another, couple of hours in the religious school afterwards. It's like, oh man. Not all the kids have to do that. We have our old friend, Insane Cancer. I can take a little bit more damage, I guess. We haven't seen Insane Cancer for a little while. There weren't any Insane Cancers at the amusement park. I guess that's not really the kind of scene that Insane Cancer likes. There we go. Here's a wheelchair here. With that stretcher back there, it's almost like a hospital. God, I hate hospitals. Not that I like churches much either. Heather is no longer surprised by the existence of wheelchairs. She just takes them in stride. Got a cassette tape. There's a bunch of papers in this file. I get the feeling that it's a handwritten copy of some book. Represents the deity known as the Halo of the Sun. In heraldry, symbolizes a religious group. The two outer circles are charity and resurrection. The three inner circles are present, past, and future. Usually drawn in red, occasionally drawn in black or in other colors, but blue reverses the meaning into a curse on God and is therefore forbidden. Well, of course. Don't want to curse God or nothing. We do want to take some handgun bullets. And a second Insane Cancer over here. These big boys can take so much punishment. Look how many kicks they can take. How is it possible to be resilient against so many kicks? Just push him out of the way. There we go. Okay, where are we, by the way? Well, this part of the church is not on the map, that whichever child drew this. So Heather is drawing her own map on it as well. There's a picture here of an angel flying into the heavens. Nothing special. I get the feeling there's something behind this picture, though. The girl's cries and footsteps disappeared beyond it, after all. Will I move the picture of the angel? I will. Yeah, we really are starting to just sort of mash church and hospital together, aren't we? There's someone behind there. This covered with a sheet. Nope, I won't even peek. A crawly boy. And now there's this odd structure. Now, technically it's a corridor, but try not to fall. What's our health like? It's okay. Actually, I think that there is a dude here. Let me just get this out. Yeah, there is a dude over there. Oop, don't fall. So here's one of those missionaries. This was the boss that we fought that killed Harry. That one's a lot tougher. These normal enemies, though, not nearly as tough. Well, here's a normal-looking room. It's full of books. What are these books about? These books look like real mind benders. I think I'll leave them alone for now. Here's one that's open. Silent Hill's Ancient Gods, a study of their etymology and evolution. What a mouthful. There is no religion that has remained unchanged from the moment it was founded. This one is no exception. When this religion fell into the hands of the immigrants, it was deeply influenced by their own original Christian beliefs. For example, the traditional representatives of these primal gods may be given the names and descriptions of Christian angels. Thus, shared characteristics begin to appear. There is also one rare example of the chief deity, creator of paradise, or lord of serpents and reeds, being dubbed with a demon's name. Of course, this was not done by believers, but by their opponents. That might be a reference to Silent Hill 1. When Dahlia was tricking Harry, she kept talking about the Mark of Samael. So people thought that the last boss was called Samael, but no, that was just a trick by Dahlia. The last boss is just the God. It doesn't have a name, it's just God. There's a book on tarot here. Tarot was based on the 22 Hebrew consonants and was said to represent the entire world. Each card, numbered 0 through 21, has a particular meaning. By reading these cards, fortune tellers predict the future. For example, the first card, the Magician, signifies creation, wisdom, beginnings, or destruction and fraud. The second card, the High Priestess, denotes intuition, harmony, faith, or dogmatism and arrogance. According to some texts, the Gardner deck had more than 22 cards. The Gardner deck does not exist today. It is mentioned only in the literature. It is said that these extra cards were based on lost Hebrew vowels and denoted an otherworldly transcendental existence, i.e., God. Well, we have a tarot card that doesn't exist. Maybe it is otherworldly. And here's a card here. The Moon Tarot card. Also, there's a cutscene right here.
Hiya, Heather.
You show up everywhere, don't you?
You make me sound like some kind of unwanted pest.
Well, who are you anyway?
Haven't you realized that yet?
Yeah, you're on Claudia's side.
I told you not to put me in the same category as that mad woman.
Well, you're pretty loony yourself.
It's true. We believe in the same God. But I'm quite sane.
So why did you help me out then? Was that also part of trying to resurrect God?
It's not uncommon for people to worship the same God and still disagree.
God? Are you sure you don't mean devil?
Whichever you like. The point is that now I really am on your side. I don't want God to be born. Wouldn't be convenient. Much too unpredictable.
So you've been using me to stop Claudia, is that it? Do your own dirty work.
My dirty work? I think we both had our own interests in mind. You hate her too, don't you? You're the only one who can get it done. I don't have powers like you two. Besides, I always hated getting all hot, sweaty.
Oh, really?
I'm just looking out for myself. Everyone does it. Don't stand there looking so smug. You're the worst person in this room. You come here and enjoy spilling their blood and listening to them cry out. You feel excited when you step on them and snuff out their lives.
Are you talking about the monsters?
Monsters? They look like monsters to you? Oh, don't worry. It's just a joke. By the way, I forgot to ask you. Did you get the seal of Metatron?
What's that?
You don't have it? Leonard was carrying it.
You mean this thing?
Yes, that's it. As long as we have that, we're fine. Here, take this.
Do indeed. We got the book Otherworld Laws. So that's Vincent's big cutscene with probably the maybe the most famous Silent Hill line, "They look like monsters to you." It's a really good line because it kind of gets your imagination going, even though Vincent then just backs off from it, saying, "No, it's just a joke. It's just a goof. Just having some funnies." We're not going to mention that again. Tome of the Seer sounds like an occult book. I don't need this now. Not my taste anyway. No. What is my taste, however, is book Otherworld Laws. Big old book I got from Vincent in the archives. This magic square with strong protective and dispelling properties is called the Viren 7 Crest, or the Seal of Metraton. It will bring results regardless of whether the target is good or evil. Ooh, results. We like those. Its strength, therefore, places a very high burden on the caster. As it is also difficult to control, it is not usually used. This is why it bears the name Metraton, after the god Metatron, or Metraton, also known as the Agent of God. Also, Metraton hates it when you can't get his name right. It's like when he meets someone and they say, "Hi, Metatron, which one is it?" He hates that. Hates it. Gets it from everyone. So, we got this book, and we have the second card, which is Moon. Found this in the archives. I don't think it's an especially good card. Let's have a look at it. That's a moon. And, let's see. Well, I guess the only thing we can really do is just keep looking for doors. Oh, and actually there is an elevator in this room. So we can take that down to another floor. By the way, probably my favorite facial expression in the game is when Vincent says, "I don't have powers like you two," and you get a good look at Heather's face when he says that. Sure is a lot of open space under this church. It's like a void, fiery void. This is a familiar-looking bedroom. This room looks just like Dad's. It's more than just a resemblance. Dad's not sleeping in the bed, though. There's a musty diary on the bed. This writing. Is this Dad's diary? Why would it be here? I sometimes have the sense, even now, that girl's a reincarnation of Alessa. I won't worry about it much now. That's all forgiven. You were unloved, Cheryl. Or was that Alessa? Now, Cheryl is Alessa again. No matter whose reincarnation she may have been, that girl was my most beloved treasure. But that name was a mistake. At the time, I thought of her only as a replacement for my lost Cheryl. When she knows the truth, will she feel bad? That's what worries me. Thanks, Dad. So I was Alessa after all. But I do have just a trace of one more memory left. I haven't forgotten my sweet and gentle mother. Don't really know anything about Harry's wife. Heather does seem to have a little bit of a memory of her. Yep, get some stun gun batteries. Whoop, hey. Catching us off guard. And here is the morgue that, you know, a church has. Stocked with shotgun shells. A corpse wrapped in some vinyl-type bag. This crazy, mixed-up world has got me used to the strangest things. Easy for me to say, they're still totally disgusting. I feel like I'm gonna go crazy myself sooner or later. I might already even be crazy. Who knows? It's hard to tell here. I got the Hangman Tarot card. Nothing important here. I haven't looked too closely, though. I don't think I want to. I can understand that. Let's have a look at this card. It was in that mortgage place. Such a pitiful card. That's a hanged man. Got some more doors to look at, though. That one has bars over it. I guess it's not really a door. Does not acknowledge when I try to open it. Not even a broken lock on that one. We got some flippy boys. Never liked them. We just run away, never try to fight them. Oh. Whoops. Let's not fall. Let's not fall. So we haven't really talked about him. It's kind of weird. Valtiel is thought to be the game's signature monster, but he barely appears in it. You don't fight him or anything. He just shows up here and there. He appears to be, like, choking a nurse, I think. He's just off to the side. He's doing his thing. And this room should look familiar. This was Alessa's room at the end of the first game. We got a key. And we have a save point from Silent Hill 1. Harry's final save point. A memo book. Something's written inside. She's just beyond this door. I don't know how, but I can sense it. But she's not the only one there. I sense the presence of something extremely dangerous, even sickening, or maybe what they call God. Nevertheless, I will open this door. Enough of this idle chit-chat. God I'm not, but I fully intend to save her. No, them. The last entry was written some 17 years ago. Looks like Dad wrote this too. The scribbling on the floor here is Alessa's. For some reason, she always drew monsters like this when she was alone. She used to draw with Claudia, too. A nice daddy and mommy in a fun school. A happy world where everyone smiled and laughed all day long. In short, everything we never had. My clothes from when I was 7. They don't fit me now. A good thing, too. We look at the bugs on the wall? Oh, I guess not. But Alessa did like collecting the butterflies. This is a closet. It's meaningless to me. I don't have time to wax nostalgic over these old clothes. Shelves are jammed with books. The top shelf has books on religious teachings and textbooks, serious stuff. The other 2 shelves are full of fairy tale books like Oz and Alice. Here's Mother Goose and Cinderella. I used to love these. This is my sketchbook from 17 years ago. On the front cover here is a picture of Dad. Really awful work. What's this doing here? I don't know. It seems like it's dead on a drawing of Harry. The door sure does rattle. Stuck tight. A secret is hidden out of your sight. You may be thinking, what could it be? You'll need 5 magic cards if you want to see. What to do then with all these? I'll tell you straight, and I won't tease, just as long as you say please. Now, the first thing you must know is that there's something in each row, but that's not the half of it. 3 would be too hard to fit. The upside-down man under the ground. To his right, to his left, there's no one around. Leave him alone, though his tears are profound. The moon is up above the sky. Fuller crescent, floating high. Twinkling light sits like a crown on the head of a crazy clown. Your Excellency, praying to God Most High, do you think you can tell me why? You always look up at the night sky. Do you have it now? You didn't forget. One major point you must not forget and omit don't rhyme. Now at the last, before you take a whack, here's one more hint to help keep you on track. Scary and hateful, that thing in the night. Better be careful. It's not on your right. Turn to the left, and you'll keep it in sight. So you open the door? I'm just sure that there'll be nothing beyond it but frightening peril. Forget about that. Just stay and play, or else I'll be left here alone all day. All right. We have our clues as to what is going on with this door. It's locked. And there are rectangular shapes on it. Well, the poem said we need 5 cards. we have 3 cards. We need 2 more cards. I used to take these dolls with me when I went to bed. Scarlet and... Damn, I forget the other one's name. In fact, I don't even know which one is Scarlet. There's playing cards on the floor. I used to play a lot. I remember little Claudia always having a hard time winning. That made her cry. This is some sort of landscape. Where is it from again? It doesn't matter. Alright, so now let's give it a save. No, it wasn't me. Alessa wrote this a long time ago. That chapel altar. It wasn't that one beautiful chapel. It was some other altar somewhere else. We're going to have to go back out the way we came and look for some other doors. There are some other doors we can try right there. See if we can find these other cards. Oh, things are very slow. Oh, okay. Things were very slow there for some reason. That lock's broken. We can go in this one. And we have big friends here. Just run past and go in this door. Alright. Another wall to try, but first let's go down here. Well, Heather's not going to comment on it, but hey, there's Valtiel again. Cranking some wheels, and there are 2 ladies hanging above. He's just doing his thing. He's just doing what he does. We can never really get to him. I mean, it's not like he's actually interfering with the things we do. And here's another familiar room. Alessa's hospital room. This is supposed to be underneath Alchemelia Hospital, but it's here too now. Handgun bullets. Looks like there's some kind of drug here. There's just a name on the label, no description or anything. It's too risky. Never mind. Heather does not take unlabeled drugs. Just chugs health drink after health drink is all. Something stuck in this book. Got the Fool Tarot card, so that's the 4th. This book, I feel like I have to read it, but at the same time I don't want to. Aglophidus. Red liquid or crystals resembling blood. According to the Kabbalah, the name is taken from an herb with the power to dispel evil spirits. It's said to grow in Arabian deserts. It may be vaporized or applied as a poultice to guard against demons. It's powerful, but as it is rare, it is extremely difficult to obtain. So Aglophidus was mentioned once in the first game, when Dr. Kaufman threw his bottle of red liquid onto Alessa, which caused her to birth God, and then Harry proceeded to kill God, and Dahlia was quite perturbed to see Aglophidus, because that was not part of her plan. So here's a book talking about that. 24 years ago, Dahlia used me to summon God. God was in my womb, but I couldn't deliver her. Then I was shut up here in this hospital room. I stayed here until Dad helped me out when I was 14. God ate away at me from within, driving me mad with suffering. There I was, wishing I could just die and be done with it. But I went on living that nightmare for 7 years. Looking at this bed just reminds me of those awful days. But I don't want to remember them, because I'm not Alessa anymore. But Alessa is still me. I'm really not trying to deny it or anything. I just don't want to remember. Get me out of here. It's a picture of me when I was 7. I look bored and sad. Well, of course I do. I was always like that back then. So, if you can see it, this is the graphic that they use for Alessa's picture in the first game. I remember back when the first game was the only Silent Hill game, people arguing on Silent Hill forums about how old Alessa was supposed to be. And some people said, no, clearly she was burned when she was a young child. And some other people said, look at this picture. That's not a picture of a small child. That's an adult woman. She clearly was burned when she was an adult. And there was like arguing about it. And this game, she just said, I was 7. That's me when I was 7. I think the CG artist may not have known that she was supposed to be 7, because that does not look like a 7-year-old, but clearly the story says that she was 7. I got an ampoule. Oh, you thought Silent Hill fans only argued about this sort of minutiae after many games were out? No, that started after the first game. There's a picture here, but it's not my style at all. Oh, an insane cancer. We don't need to go that way. We don't need to get the attention of the cancer. We could probably just walk around this one. Yeah, there we go. Vincent says that we love killing these guys, but we've been running around most of them. Like, sometimes we kill them, but usually we don't. Okay. We have 4 cards. Well, that's not what I wanted. Let's see. There's a door there we could try. I don't know if that's open or not. And if not, then we can go back up to the previous floor. Our favorite sound. Let's see, which of those doors was it? It's the one right at the end. Oh, we can go into that one. Oh, actually, did I try? No, that's the one that goes back into here. There's another one. No? Oh, on the other side. Well, I think this one doesn't work, though. Yeah, that lock is just broken. And I think the only thing that we could do... But we don't need to... Do we go that way? No, we went through all those doors. Right, because in addition to the card that we got, something else we got in that room was this brass key. Doesn't say where it goes, but there is only one locked door that we've seen, which is back there in the first part of the church. We haven't gone into this room yet, over here. We get a big old honkin' save point in here. But first, let's take a look around. Over here is Saint Jennifer, unwavering faith under death's blade. And Saint Nicholas, miraculous hands, a doctor of God. And here, Saint Alessa, mother of God, daughter of God. That picture, it me. I'm holding the baby, and I'm the baby being held. The me that wanted death and disappeared with God 17 years ago. And the me here and now that sought life. It's a complicated relationship. The circle means reincarnation. That's what it said on that paper back there. So death isn't the end. Pretty good deal if you ask me. Thanks to reincarnation, I died as Alessa, but I'm still living as myself. But you know, just the thought of it is starting to turn my stomach. Let's save our game. In the belfry. Oh, you don't like that when that happens to the walls. You got to call in professionals to take care of this. Oh yeah. You don't like to see this. I use the brass key. Yep. A crawly boy crawling around. Oh, hey. Well, someone's behind me. I'm glad that they waited until I was done there. And here we are in the school. It's a picture of a wolf. Looks like a dog, but it says wolf and everything, so. Unless I'm very critical of this small child's rendering of a wolf. So, of course, this is a classroom from Midwich Elementary. We were in here in Silent Hill 1. There's a ratty old notebook on the podium. Oops, and there's a letter stuck in here, too. Let's see. There's a girl named Alessa in my class. If your memory is any good, you may remember her. She's the one I said they called a witch. Most likely her mother is abusing her. I've never seen her come in without some sort of scrape or bruise. Her expression is pitifully dark for a 6-year-old. Something like this may not be so uncommon. Rather than coming up with pointless ideas, it's best just to watch and wait. But isn't there something I can do to help? I'm considering consulting a lawyer, but I do have my reservations. That's why I thought I'd ask you, my friend, for your opinion first. K. Gordon. K. Gordon was the name of one of the teachers from the faculty list in the first game. We went in his house. I don't need to take a map of the United States with me. It's probably fine. It's a pretty ho-hum picture. It's like a sunflower. Who needs that? Go home, drop dead, thief. There used to be Alessa's. I mean, this was my desk once upon a time. It's a handout with our classroom resolutions written on it. Doesn't say anything about abandoning your friends or scribbling on the desks. Can't open the locker door. We have a bunch of friends in here. I don't think there's actually anything in here to do except look at the neat animated wall textures, which make it hard to see the door. Here's another room that actually has something in it. What are these, letters? No, maybe a bunch of suggestions? People are starting to voice their dissatisfaction about Father Vincent using the organization's money for his own personal benefit. I've also heard rumors that Father Vincent has been extorting donations from some followers. Is he really the right person for such a position? I'm in no place to deny all he's done to make the organization grow. Even though we believe in God, if there was some sort of gathering, shouldn't we be valued not for our limited talents or our talkativeness, but for the depth of our faith? L.S. So it seems that Vincent is, maybe he's like the businessman of the group. He's the one who actually brings in the scratch, the money, I'm like doing the thing with my fingers, rubbing my fingers together. You hear that? That represents the money. Bunch of books here, nothing particularly interesting. But there's also a tape deck here, and it looks perfectly usable. And we did get a cassette earlier on. There's no label, but the tab's been removed. It might be worth checking out.
Do you know about what happened here 17 years ago? You've been here a long time. You must have heard some details.
A group of pagans, blinded by earthly desires, spit in the very face of God. They tried to use the seal of Metatron to prevent God's awakening. But God drove the unbelievers away and threw them into the abyss. But due to their wickedness, God was unable to be born properly. And so, she has slumbered ever since in the womb of the Holy Mother until the time of the awakening. That's all that I know.
That's it, huh? Well, thanks.
Father Vincent, I heard that the Holy Mother has been found. Is it true?
Alessa has been found? Did Claudia say that?
Yes.
Then it must be true. Her sight rarely fails her.
Bless the Lord.
Maybe it's because of her great faith. But I could never be like her. I wouldn't want to.
Nor I. The truth is, Sister Claudia frightens me a little.
Well, now, let's both show our faith by forgetting about this little talk, okay?
Yes, but does that mean this land will finally be the home of eternal paradise?
If God wills it, my sister. If God wills it.
All right, so that's the cult's interpretation of the events of Silent Hill 1. If you wondered about how did the cult take the turn of events of God being born, but then just some guy comes in and shoots God with a hunting rifle until it's dead, well, that's their version of the story. And it sounded like Vincent was looking for like actual harder details about what happened. He's like, oh, I guess the only thing you know is the official story then. He's looking for someone who actually knows the nitty-gritty. All right, so what do we have here? We still only have the 4 cards. We heard the cassette. And there's another door, I think, that we can try. Yeah, down here. Nothing important here. It's not that I'm not concerned, but I choose not to be right now. If I fretted over every damn thing, I would have serious mental overload. That's good advice for all of us. Gotta pick and choose what you're gonna be worried about. It's just a candle. And here is our 5th tarot card. Didn't this card mean something like genuine belief? There's the High Priestess. The bookshelf is nothing special. But there is one book that gets our attention. The name Claudia Wolf is written very small on the cover. Looks like this is her diary. November 10th. She didn't die then. She was born. I knew that for a fact. But then why haven't I found her yet? They were supposed to need her power to build paradise for the happiness of the people. She was supposed to be reborn for that. I'd really like to see her. November 14th. Read the Book of Praise. I want to thank Father for lending me such an invaluable book. I've found what I'd been searching for in there, how to awaken God, but it's much too cruel. Will I be able to pull it off when I see her? November 16th. I was free all day, so I read A Modern History of Refugees and Young Slaves, Child Exploitation. I don't want to be a mere bystander in this world. I can't do anything now, though, and that's what's hard. All right, a little insight into Claudia's motives. She feels like, hey, the world sucks. We gotta bring God back. Like, if we bring God back, everything's gonna be okay. Sacrifices have to be made. But, I mean, look at these child slaves. God would not allow this. There's an old birthday card on the desk. So she was still hanging on to this. To little Claudia, happy 6th birthday. I love you as if you were my real sister. Here's to you. So it looks like that Claudia does have an emotional side, still hanging on to this old birthday card that Alessa gave to her for her 6th birthday. Actually, does Heather have a comment on that, if I look at it again? I thought she might. No, I guess not. All right, we got all 5 cards. So that means... Well, we don't need to be in here. That means that we can head back to Alessa's room. So it is a really neat effect. What they do here. Oh yeah, got that black mold in here. You know, might as well give it a save. We're heading towards Alessa's room, but you know, you might end up in the door dimension, and you never know what's going to happen. So that's only happened the one time, but let's see, Alessa's room. I think that we go down the elevator. Oh, this is all... It's all movie now. All moving. The walls are just kind of like all oozy. With the... Well, you see it. We're never going to be able to clean all this up. You know what that's going to do to the resale value of this church? Through the floor. Pardon? Valtiel's out there just doing... He's still doing what he's doing. Alright, here we are. So think about these clues again. Let's look at our cards. We have High Priestess. We have Hanged Man, Moon, Fool, and Eye of Night. Let's look at these clues again. Okay, 5 cards. What do we do with them? There's something in each row, so there's no empty row. Upside Down Man, which is the Hanged Man, he's upside down on his card. He's under the ground, so that would imply the bottom row. To his right, to his left, there's no one around. So the bottom row only has the Hanged Man in the middle space. The moon is above the sky, so moon in top row. Fuller crescent floating high. Twinkling light sits like a crown on the head of a crazy clown. So the Fool will be on the second row underneath the moon. That doesn't tell us which column they're going to be in, but moon is going to be above Fool. The Excellency, so High Priestess, praying to God Most High. Do you think you can always tell me why you always look up at the night sky? So High Priestess is going to be looking up, so she's going to be on the middle row, and the Eye of Night is going to be above her, because she's looking up at that night sky. Scary and hateful, that thing in the night. It's not on the right. Eye of Night is on the left. All right, so those are the clues we get. So the first one we had was Hanged Man. We're going to put it bottom center. They said the Eye of Night was going to, well, that's up in the sky, so top row. They said it was going to be on the left. And they said that the High Priestess was looking up at it. So put her below it. Now, it said that the Moon and the Fool were in the same column. But I guess it could be either one of these. But I do believe it is the right column. And there we go. Let's save one more time. Huge fan here. I can't get through. It just leads us to this door. And that's the end of the church map. Let's head on inside.
What do I want? Well, for the two of you to die, that would be nice. Then I could relax.
When did you stop believing in God? God lives. Just look around you.
But I do believe in her. In my own way. I fear her, and I adore her. But I haven't lost my mind like you. You think that this is the work of God? Isn't this all nothing more than your own personal nightmare? Just like Alessa 17 years ago? If this really is the work of God, then I'd say she has lousy taste.
You mock God? Traitor. You will go to hell.
Not that again! Who do you think you are, claiming to know God's will?
Go home, Vincent.
Home. This church is my home. I built it with my power. The power of money that you view with such scorn. Although I admit that this atrocious scenery is all yours.
If you continue to get in my way...
Did you kill me? Well... Well... The guest of honor has arrived. Let's get this party started. Heather, go ahead and kill this crazy bitch. This demon who claims to speak for God. The time has come. You can kill her now.
You'll go to hell!
What did you do?
Nothing important.
You're not going to run? I guess this is the end.
No, the beginning. As Vincent said, the time has come. Alessa, I'm saddened that you didn't agree to this on your own. But I thank you for nurturing God with all the hate in your heart. It's time for mankind to be released from the shackles of sin which bind them.
But a God born from hatred can never create a perfect paradise.
Happy people can be so cruel. Is it so hard to believe that sympathy could be born out of pain and suffering? Why do you reject God's mercy? Why do you cling to this corrupt world? You know that only God can save us.
And save you too? Happy ending? I'd rather go to hell.
No, I don't expect to be saved. And that's fine. Alyssa, my dearest. For the pain that I've caused you, I deserve no mercy. Even if it was to save mankind. It was too deep a sin. It was hubris for me to try to hasten the day of her arrival. Sacrifices were made. And those are my sins.
If you feel so guilty about it, why don't you go to hell? Heather, use the seal.
Vincent? The seal of Metatron?
Now your stupid dream is over.
Oh, that's just a piece of junk. What do you think you can do with that? Do you really think it can kill God? I'm sorry to see you fell for my father's foolishness.
What?
You're pathetic. But God loves even you. Now, Alyssa, there's nowhere else to run. Just accept it, Alyssa. The pain will disappear. I've been waiting so long for this. Even as a child, I knew I would see the coming of this day. I knew I would be a witness to it. Judgment Day. Alyssa?
Shut your stinking mouth, bitch!
Well, what do we do? Well, we came here to kill Claudia, so I guess that's what we have to do.
Alyssa? God! Bring us salvation!
And so, Heather's adventure comes to an end. As we all know, quests for revenge never pan out. They always turn out badly. Because revenge doesn't solve anything in the end. So, Heather/Alessa's journey to get revenge against Claudia could only end in one way. Claudia wins and God is born. Who knows what's going to happen to the world after that? I guess we could try it again. Is there no sound? No, there's no sound. That's odd. With the birth of the god, all sound faded away from the world. As we were in the perfect paradise, no sound was actually required. It turns out in heaven there is no sound. Just total, piercing, wonderful silence. Hold on, I guess I'd need to... I'll restart the game and see if we can get the sound back. All right, sound is returned. So, we had that scene where Vincent, I mean, I don't know what he expected to happen there. Turned his back to Claudia after angering her quite a bit and causing the death, and ended up being responsible for the death of Claudia's own father. So I don't really know what he thought was going to happen there. I'll just skip past that. Okay. Vincent's dead. Claudia stands before us. Heather she's in the middle of going into god labor, I guess is what you call it. And trying to commit violence against Claudia didn't work. We shot Claudia, but embracing the hatred in our heart just ended up being the thing that was needed to induce divine birthing. So, what do we do here? Well, if we tried other things, like maybe we just stand around and don't kill Claudia, same thing would happen. We could try to leave the room, but same thing would happen. The fact is, Heather is on the verge of giving God birth, and there's nothing she can do about it. But maybe there is one thing she might have on her, because really the only thing you could do at this point in the game is just look through your inventory, because there's nothing else you could do. And this could be a little bit of a tricky thing to figure out. You might be looking through your inventory, looking through your things, trying to figure out if there's something you can use. Vincent said to use this, but it turns out no. Actually, that whole thing about getting the Seal of Metatron, turns out we can't, it doesn't do anything here, unfortunately. But one thing that you might realize is that you do have one item in your inventory that you've been carrying through the whole game, and you've never used it. And if you ever examined it, you found that there's like a jewel inside, a little red tablet, and Heather doesn't know what it is. Just that when she asked Dad what it was, he said it's just a lucky charm. And he told Heather to take good care of it and never take it off. But why does Heather feel sick inside when she looks at it? And then, not too long ago, we did see that book that talked about Aglophidus. About Aglophidus, is good at getting rid of the demons. Getting the demons out of you. And how it can come in liquid form, which it did in Silent Hill 1. But it can also come in crystalline form. So maybe if you just put 2 and 2 together, you might realize you have an Aglophidus pill that you've been carrying around your neck throughout the entire game that Harry gave Heather just in case. Well, just in case is now. Let's use the pill.
What are you doing?
Dad. Looks like God didn't make it.
Stop! God is...
Claudia!
Lessa, you cannot kill God. I will birth God. If you can't do it, Lessa, I will.
Claudia! Claudia!
Well, there's a big hole in front of us. So we gotta do what we gotta do.
Can't be dead. I was gonna kill you. This is God?
This is God. Time for our big God final battle. Let's just take a little stock right now. 2 first aid kits, 6 ampoules. I got a few healing items here. So let's see what God does. Well, we can get God to come down here by shooting in the midsection. There's God. Looks like... face looks kind of like Alessa's, I think. Why don't we give God a shot with the old stun gun? Stun ya. I don't know if that's affecting God. No. God had enough of that. God does a lot of damage when she hits us. So if we're close up when God wants to attack, she will take a swing at us. It's very fast. Whoops. If we're far away, she'll hit us with some fire. Maybe I'll use the other first aid kit. I'm gonna reload this. So one thing we could do, get up close there. Yep. She gave us a hit. So ideally what I would want to do is try to attack her without getting hit. So one thing we could probably do is when she gets down like that, give her a shot with the shotgun, and that'll make her shoot fire. I'm getting hit too much here. I'm sure there must be a more efficient way to kill God. But I've always just kind of done... This is probably a very slow way of doing it. Just kind of keeping your distance. Oh, I have really no bullets at all in that. I really have to stop getting hit, because she does a tremendous amount of damage. She attacks once you do enough damage to her. So you see, after I hit her, she will either swing at me, or she will send out some fire. How many bullets do I have in total? Let me take a look at my ammo. I have a lot. It's a lot of bullets. Man, I keep getting hit over and over. That's more along the lines of what I should do. So I guess that she has taken a fair amount of damage at this point, because she's sending out 2 fires at me, which she does after you've hit her a bit. So God is a bit, a little bit more fearsome. Is she more fearsome than Silent Hill 1 God? I don't know. Silent Hill 1 God could, hit you with lightning bolts, no matter where you were on the screen. Nope, a third one. Nope, 4th.
Is that the end? I guess it's time to roll the credits. you're still alive.
Heather, what, Heather?
Oh! Just a joke.
You've got terrible
I'm
taste.
sorry.
Heather, did
You
you...
don't have to call me that. I'm not hiding anymore.
You want me to use your real name? What was it again?
Cheryl. The name my father gave me.
You gonna let your hair color go back too?
I don't know. Don't you think blondes have more fun?
Spoke of torture, souls, so outrageous the toll. You can lose all you have. He refused to give in to the town that takes all. Survive. You must have the will. This movie doesn't end the way we want all the time. Then he shouts at the moon, she's gone, and fear has overcome. He was walking the mile. He was walking alone. So outrageous the toll. You can lose all you have. He refused to give in to the town that takes all. Survive. You must have the will. This movie doesn't end the way we want all the time. When he shouts at the moon, she's gone, and fear has overcome. He was walking the mile. He was walking alone. 4 and 2 that dismal moon, the dead search for their kin, while angels sleep in endless dark. The dead seek out sin.
Gotta credit the typefaces. So I think that there are some split opinions as to how they feel about the lyrical version of the Silent Hill 1 theme. Of course, it's awesome. Of course it's awesome. If you need to think it's awesome just ironically, then you can just think that to make yourself feel better. But of course, it is wonderful. That is Hometown. It's a song that you do not expect because you are familiar with the Silent Hill 1 theme, and you completely do not expect it when lyrics start belting out. You're hearing the familiar song that you know of, and then you just hear, so outrageously told. It's like, what? What's happening right now? The ending type we got is normal. This is our clear time. Like Silent Hill games do, they give you stats as to how fast you killed guys. The god is just the god. How many items did we get? Many. How many by shooting? How many by fighting? Total damage? These are things that we did. I fulfilled the conditions for the hidden weapon flamethrower. Do I wish to save? Yeah, sure, I'll save play results. So, that is our first playthrough of Silent Hill 3. Like I said, I really enjoy this one. I enjoy the fact that it was a follow-up to the first game. I really like the environments and just the personality of the characters in this. I think it has some of the best characters in a survival horror game. And even though different Silent Hill games will try different things when it comes to figuring out the environments for the other world, like when things fall apart, I think this game is the one that did it the best. You even had someone in the credits who exclusively worked on evil effects. That's one of the titles in the credits. It was something like Another World Evil Effects. So one person on staff was responsible for the evil effects, and they did an excellent job. Also, I believe this is the first game in which Mary Elizabeth McGlynn is singing. She, of course, would become part of the Silent Hill franchise for some time. What did she do? She also sang in 4 in Origins, I think. Definitely Homecoming. Definitely Shattered Memories. Did she do a song in Downpour? I don't remember now. But she became a well-known voice associated with the Silent Hill franchise for quite some time to come. And of course, you might remember Mary Elizabeth McGlynn from her most well-known role, that of Echidna in the PS2 classic The Bouncer. We all remember her from that. So she did the intro song, and then Joe Romersa sang the outro song, and he would return for part 4 as well. But anyway, like I said, Silent Hill 3, I really liked it when I first played it. I still really like it now. Though I don't think I realized at the time when I first played it how short the game was. It didn't seem so short to me that first time round, but I guess now that, when you know where to go and what to do. It really is a very short game. But that's not necessarily a problem. Early survival horror games did tend to be very short. And, like I said at the beginning of this playthrough, we are not done with Silent Hill 3, because we do have a second playthrough to do. We've done the PC version, but this game was part of the Silent Hill HD collection, which means it did get new voice acting. And of course, we have to play through the game a second time to hear all of that new voice acting and how it compares to the original. Also, there are a couple other endings. Not as many as other Silent Hill games. Like, Silent Hill 1 had 5 endings. 2 had a bunch. It had more than that. 3 only has 3 endings. There are 2 normal endings and then a UFO ending. So not as many in this one, unfortunately. But, of course, we are going to get those endings. So, second playthrough of the game coming up on the HD collection, in which we are going to be going for the second ending. But that's the end of this first playthrough of Silent Hill 3. Hope you enjoyed watching this, because I enjoyed playing it. I'll enjoy playing Silent Hill 3 any day of the week. But if, like I said, we're not done. We will be back with more Silent Hill 3.